Okay, listen up. I am talking to all the true crime fans out there. The season 3 premiere of our hit docuseries, The Evidence Room, drops tonight here on the KPRC 2 Plus live stream. I'm excited to have KPRC 2 investigator Robert Arnold here with us this morning to talk about what he has in store for us this season. Very exciting. I am very excited. We have 8 new episodes, and our season premiere is going to be dealing with the Malibu Grand Prix murders. Now, it's the 40th anniversary of the Malibu Grand Prix murders, and one of the reasons that I chose this particular episode is because I remember it having an impact on me when I was a 12-year-old boy in Houston. This was in 1983.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Malibu Grand Prix was just an amazing place with go-karts that were state-of-the-art, a huge game room, everything, and then all of a sudden, 4 people are slaughtered inside this area. So I remember my parents hearing that, and I remember, as I had said before, it was kind of a end of innocence moment for me because I'm thinking like, wow, bad things happen anywhere, not just in places that I'm not used to going. They can happen anywhere. So that's one of the things that we're working on. That's going to be our season opener. But we also brought with us a sneak peek of some of the other episodes they're going to be working on for this season.
This man has an 8 to 10 year history of killing women all across the country.
An employee coming in just after 8 this morning made the horrible discovery. 4 employees of the Malibu Grand Prix stabbed to death.
She doesn't dispute that she stabbed her husband a staggering 193 times.
Harris's 16-year-old daughter witnessed her stepmother run the wheels of her Mercedes over her dad several times.
Police say the suspect may be responsible for the murders of at least 6 women.
Wow, cold chills. So we try to pick episodes that have not only had real lasting impact on our area, but also episodes that led to real advances in victims' rights. Like one of the episodes was the very first time that family members of victims were able to give victim impact statements in the courtroom and help force the state to allow family members of victims to witness executions. Then there's also those cases that took detectives years to solve and how that police work and how it had lasting impacts on entire swaths of our viewing area. Plus, I've got some friends coming, and you know that. You've got one episode coming. Our colleague Amy Davis is doing an episode this one, but I understand you're focusing on a cold case. Yes, cold cases specifically within marginalized communities. I took it upon myself a few months ago to stop by a Crime Stoppers meeting and talking with loved ones of victims within that meeting. I realized there's stories to be told. You know, these are cases that have gone cold. They've been sitting in the back of the filing cabinet. We're calling the segment Z-Files. I like it. You know, the forgotten about cases, or the people attached to these cases who feel forgotten. And these are cases that necessarily did not receive a lot of media attention when they initially happened, and so we're hoping to bring light to those. And and you never know. I mean, a couple of the cases, like Coral Watts, the Sunday morning slasher, it's not that it didn't receive the attention, but it was amazing how even years, I mean decades afterwards, that renewed push to bring it back into the public's eye led to new information, led to new convictions. And you talk about marginalized communities. Another one of our episodes is the Acres Home. Serial killer. And this was a series of prostitutes who were being murdered and raped. And this detective that I interviewed, Detective Shorten, said, you know, I don't care if these women lived a high-risk lifestyle, and I don't care if they were in positions where they could become attacked. She goes, every human life is worth something. Every human life deserves justice, and no one deserves to die the way that these women did. And it took years to do it, but she and her partner put it together, and they worked it incredibly hard to finally bring justice to all these women who had been murdered and those who had been brutally attacked. There's an appetite for these cases. There are so many people out there looking forward to watching not only this series but other docuseries like this. This docuseries has recently won a national award. We've been lucky. Yes, the telly So we've been very lucky in that. And I think the reason people like it is what we're able to do is we're able to give them a different perspective on a case, because a lot of times, as you say, when a case gets profiled, it somewhat gets summarized sometimes, and in this we don't have to do that. We can go much deeper and hear different sides of the case that didn't necessarily make it, you know, into the main coverage at the time that it was happening.
I believe you and I had have talked about this before. This concept initially came about when you were given an assignment, right, to go into the archives, or did you come up with this? How did this take shape? How did this come to fruition?
One of the things I do for the station is I witness executions for people who've been convicted of capital murder in our area, and so obviously it takes a long time before, from the time a crime is committed, a person is convicted and their execution is actually carried out. So one of the things that I would always do before witnessing an execution is I would familiarize myself with the case by going to the county archives and looking at all the trial exhibits and looking at all the files and everything like that. And we were talking, it's like, oh, so that's all there. And I said, yeah, for a lot of notorious cases, that's where everything is. And the county doesn't have to, but it holds on to things that are considered high profile, things that, like I said, have had real lasting impact on our area. So they said, well, maybe we could try and put together a show with that. And so that's how that started, and so we kind of started picking cases that we knew were very high profile. But we've also since then been getting people emailing us, calling us, saying, "Hey, can you do this one? Hey, can you do this one?" And so we're now doing that as well. So yes, if you have any case that you'd like us to profile, please email us. Please give us a call on our tip line 223-TIPS, and we will definitely start looking into it.
Well, Robert, we are so looking forward to watching season 3. It debuts tonight, the first episode, Murder at Malibu Grand Prix. Again, season 3 of The Evidence Room tonight at 6:30, exclusively here on the KPRC 2 Plus live stream. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, bud.